Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's section of reads. This should be on the YouTube channel James13 Wicca, in case you're seeing it somewhere else. The dice and decks I'm using are listed below. Other than that, if you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. This is James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching. Let's get into your choice. Hello, Virgo. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Virgo? The Sun card right out. Let's see what else we got. Let's see what else we got. All of that? Okay, why not? Why not? Okay, I'm really curious about those cards, but let's get all of them out. Like, so I feel like I'm being nosy, ironically. That's okay. That's interesting. Okay, so the Sun card. And I don't think anything's bad. It's more about the anxiety of keeping. I think the more of the anxiety of keeping. Nothing is really bad here, which is good, right? Yeah. You are doing what you need to do. There's stress with this, but you're succeeding. I feel like this is one of those things where you're doing really well and you're in the front. You're the front runner. I feel like this is working out, and I feel like whatever the subject is, I've come to the realization, if I step it forward, if I make all the decisions, take it with a grain of salt, but if I keep moving forward in the power position, it works out. It goes where it's supposed to go. You're the King of Pentacles. I think of Virgo, like, Virgo is very good at sticking to the plan. I could be wrong. I usually think that Virgo doesn't want to be the leader, but can be a very good one. That's the thing. I just feel, if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. I usually think that Virgo doesn't really want to do that, but tends to be good at it, in my opinion. And this is something where one of the reasons maybe that feeling is there is because there's a lot to take care of. There's a lot to move forward, and it's kind of like, well, it depends what it is. And if I can, like, put myself in the position where I can, double check things without people realizing I'm double checking. Am I getting that right? Because it's kind of like I need to make sure things are working out. I'm worried about the tower, and one of the ways I keep the tower from happening is, like, if I can double check things without people realizing I'm double checking. It may be more of a spot check thing, but it's kind of like just randomly checking here and there without people realizing I'm double checking. If I can do that, I can keep that tower from coming into the situation, because I'm worried about the tower. I'm worried that there could be a problem. I'm worried that there's something I won't see. And I'm just like, there's a lot to keep control here. It's like, I want to believe in people, and maybe there's certain people I do, but even the people I do believe in, I feel like I just want to spot check here and there. And I just want to keep it more like, I don't want people to know I'm checking up on them, but if they're doing what they're supposed to be, I don't think there should be a problem with me checking up on them. I just got to be careful, like, to keep it to myself, because sometimes people get nervous with that. The energy is really good here. I don't know where this is coming in, but I get this with relationships a lot. It's almost like, every now and then just checking up on your spouse, not in a, like, expecting to catch them doing something they shouldn't, but just kind of like, if I just pop in randomly once here or there, or just kind of show up here or there, that shouldn't be a problem, because if you're not doing anything you shouldn't be anyway, why would it be a problem? It's not like, scrutinizing every little thing, but just randomly showing up, it shouldn't be a problem. I don't know where it would, because I'm getting the energy is good here, and you seem to be very realistic. You have been overcoming the problems. You've been doing really well with that. It just lingers. It's one of those things where I just feel like it's stressful, but it's kind of like, yeah, but it also works out. It's stressful, but this is how it works out for you. This might be your flavor if this makes sense. Um, you are doing, and you're very diplomatic in this, if I'm getting this correct. For this situation, it's kind of like I'm being very careful, like to keep my eye on things, to keep things moving forward, to talk to the situation in a compatible way. Um, this very much feels, when I'm getting this card, I need to be effective. I got to be careful how I say what I say because I need to be effective. I need it to get done right. So I got to be careful how I bring it forward. This card a lot of times does come forward that way with me. Kind of like if I want the truth, if I want it to actually make sense, if I want it to actually be productive, I got to take care with how I move this forward, how I talk about this. There is a lot of loyalty coming towards you. You do have some very strong support here. You're honoring the right people. These people, or whoever this is, they like that they feel taken care of. Even though I feel like you're putting together the plan, you seem to be, maintaining the plan, if this makes sense. But other people are pushing forward and doing what's necessary. It's almost like, if I'm going to make it really, really simple, if it was like a family get together or some type of get together, it's almost like I'm saying, all right, we need somebody's place that's close to this area. Is your place, or is this doable? What do we think? And people are like, well, how about this place? I can get us this place and it can be at a discount. Okay, let's do that. And then you're like, since you have that connection, would you be willing to like book that? Let me know and I'll make sure we get the funds. Okay, so they book that, they do that, they tell you how much it's going to be, and then you get the money over there. It's kind of like you have other people working in tandem with you. It seems to be working very well. Whatever this is, you seem to be working with other people. I do feel like you're more in control. I do feel like you're definitely more in control. I don't know if you're seeing it that way for some reason, but you are more in control because you are, like, you say, I'm going to do this, and then Virgo does what they say they're going to do. It's kind of like an earth thing. Things are going really well. You're moving things forward. It's very interesting because I keep looking at this like, are you seeing it like you're in control? Because I do feel like you're in control, but do you see it that way? Because it's kind of like I'm working with people, I'm talking with people, I'm giving options, and then I'm following up on options. You are very much in control here. I keep getting it. I don't know why that seems odd. Am I saying it wrong? Let's keep going. Great energy. You're balancing it out. You're doing what you need to do. That this is kind of like the action you're taking behind the conversations. You're doing what you need to do. I feel like I'm just checking here and there, very privately, very carefully. I feel like there's certain people, if they know I'm checking up on them, or they think I'm checking up on them, that could be a problem. But at the same time, I should be able to do that if there's nothing wrong going on. So I'm moving forward. Things are continuing. But there's a lot of positive energy. A lot of people are very much uplifted by this. And this is going very, very well. The energy is going in a very positive direction. What's coming next? Great question. Positive energy. I feel like there's stress because I keep getting that, but you're doing well with it. Okay, so the next leg of the journey starts to show up, whatever that means. It's almost like we traveled this far, we camped out overnight, now we have to decide what we're going to do next for this next leg of the journey. It's almost like, I feel like that's the wrong way to put it. I feel like it's almost like I keep seeing these wagons going on. It's like, all right, we made it to this spot, and now that we got to this spot successfully, we need to decide what the next leg of the journey is supposed to be. Where do we need to, we know where we want to go, which trail, which way would be the best, which makes the most sense. And we're looking at something that I feel like we knew we'd come to this point, and we had some tentative ideas. Tentative? Something like that. We had some temporary tentative something, a very rough idea about where we would go after this, but we had to achieve this first, understand how that played out, and apply it forward. So it's kind of like we're coming to this when the future shows up, when the past shows up in the future. I feel like there's already been some work towards this. There's already been some acknowledgement towards this. It's kind of like, all right, what should we do next? In your role in this, you could be very effective and you could be in the very much the healing energy, but I feel like this is almost like maybe this isn't the time for this. This is reminding me of like, you know, this might be like the moment where it's kind of like this isn't the time to heal. This is the time where we still have to keep fixing things. It's kind of like we're all tired, we're all wet, we're all hungry. We can have a little bit of food and a little bit of rest, but we need to keep going because this isn't the time to heal. We're still in the process of moving things forward. This isn't the time to sit back, relax, and let ourselves recuperate. We don't have that luxury right now. It makes sense why it may seem like maybe that's what we should do, but I'm getting that this might not be the best time for that. It may look on paper like it's doable, but I'm getting maybe we should continue the journey forward at this point. Because they're saying whatever's coming next is kind of like if we keep moving and we keep in the momentum, we successfully get to the goal. And once we've achieved the goal, that's the time. That's the time for the healing. It's kind of like we got to keep moving right now. It's kind of like if we're running through the forest and we found a place to rest and like things are okay for right now, but it's kind of like we're not really safe. We don't really have the best shelter. We've got some food, but we don't got enough to keep us going for the long time. Maybe we should keep going until we find adequate shelter, but we need to get to the goal. We need to get to the spot where we're actually at that safety. And it's kind of like if we stop halfway, I don't know if I'm making sense with this because I keep seeing like older times. I feel like 300 years ago, 300, 400 years ago, it's like getting down the path, going through the woods. And it's kind of like we found a place to be safe for now, but this isn't a permanently safe place. Maybe we should continue on, you know, do what we can do, recuperate a little bit, but then continue on to the goal. Once we attain the goal, then we can set up securely and safely, and then we can fully heal like we need to. It's kind of like saying it's just not quite the time yet. When this moment comes, like we need to just decide the next leg of the journey, people are going to want to like take a long pause. This isn't the best time for a long pause. Do you want one? Yes. But I'm getting like, it's kind of realizing that like, even though I want one, I kind of have to move on from that. I need to make the judgment that it's like, you know, maybe everybody's not agreeing with me and I'm kind of on my own trying to push this forward, but maybe I need to keep pushing this forward for the best outcome. It's up to you. It's just a possibility. But it's kind of like, if we keep moving forward, we'll get through this moment. We don't have to take the time. It's like we don't want to take the pause in the desert. We want to get through the desert on the other side to where everything is more lush and plentiful and then take our break is what I'm getting. Like that great journey through, we want to get through the desert and then we can get to the spot where we can actually have the moment. And I feel like people don't want to do that. But if I keep pushing and if I keep moving forward as if that's what we're going to do, if I keep pushing forward like that's what we're going to do, I feel like the momentum is actually working for you at this point and will keep going your way. There will be a spot where you'll be able to do that after. That will happen at some point. But it's like being at the spot where it really makes the best sense. That's the point where it can really be healing, really be to where we can make the total healing. So if you're thinking of a battery, doing it too soon, it's like you're down to 20, 15% of the battery. And it's kind of like, okay, we really should like bring this back up to 100%. Well, maybe we only have enough time to bring it up to 35%. And we keep slowing down, and when we need to, we're bringing up, and we're only bringing it up to 35%. It may seem counterintuitive, but it's kind of like if we rest too long, it's kind of like a lot of opportunities are passing us by, a lot of other issues are coming in. A lot of other issues is what it feels like are coming in, and it's something else is sucking up that energy anyway. It's kind of like if we keep using the energy, we keep moving forward, we get to a point where we can actually fully charge when we're fully safe and fully ready. But if we wait too long, it's like we get back to 100, but then we don't want to go anywhere and we get stuck. If we take that full healing too soon, we're going to get stuck. We don't have to get stuck. All right, is that what I'm missing? It makes completely healing too early will get the situation stuck. There we go. That's why it keeps coming through. It's kind of like, okay, we're going around it. We're almost there. We're almost there. There we go. Um, if we try to do the full healing too soon, it will get stuck, and there won't be any more progression. And there's a long-term goal you're looking for that's very important. Keep pushing forward to the goal. Keep going forward. Keep working at it. You put a lot of energy into this, and you can get there. It's just, if you stop prematurely, it's just kind of like I'm stuck in this Seven of Pentacles where it's not quite there. It's not quite there. It's not quite there. We want to get to that Eight of Pentacles where it achieves what I want, so I can get to the Nine of Cups to where I'm actually getting to the fruition I want. If we stop too early, it's going to stagnate. And I don't think you're going to like that option. Doesn't have to be like that. Now that I hit it, I feel like the energy is kind of like, whew, all right, that's what we're trying to get to. All right, I think we're good. All right. I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.